Hello, brothers and sisters, Ambazonians, home and abroad. There have been a lot of little distractions as regard to our struggle, our restoration struggle. I would like to address the international community and specifically the United Nations, the European Union, the Commonwealth of Nations, and the African Union. What I wish to bring to notice here is that we thought clearly, not we the Ambazonians, citizens of Ambazonia, but a greater part of the world that belongs to some of these organizations that I've mentioned, that a mother organization like the United Nations should stand up for people who are threatened, should stand up to people who are molested, to stand up to people who are marginalized, to stand up more effectively with effective response to genocidal regimes such as that of La Republic of Cameroon, headed by a prominent dictator, a dictatorial monarch in the name of President Paul Biya, who has been serving for 36 years plus 6 years as a prime minister, 40-something years in power, and who has nothing to offer and who hasn't offered anything to his people. The International Committee can verify these facts, but I don't know why they keep on protecting dictators. Therefore, this will push me to make assertions that the United Nations is more dangerous to humanity than terrorist organizations around the world, because it supports just its interests and it doesn't stand for its values and goals that are outlined in the principles of the United Nations. 2 years and more, the peaceful, loving people of Southern Cameroonians have suffered for 56 years under a dictatorial, a brutal and colonial regime of the French Cameroon, our neighbors. I call them our neighbors because we are an independent nation. We have territorial boundaries. We are people recognized with fixed boundaries at independence. We have our independence. We have been quiet and silent for quite a long time, that these people that sees us as fourth class, not even second class citizens, because they themselves, La République du Cameroun, stand as first class citizens. The leaders, first class citizens. They are citizens, second class citizens, and other people that they themselves considered within their own territory as people who got nothing to offer are third-class citizens. So we in the union, we are fourth-class citizens and not second-class citizens. That is visible in any day-to-day activities. But the United Nations, instead of coming in and standing for people, they are there only looking for their interests. It has become a club of interest and not a club that serves the goal of the people of this globe. The United Nations is going to fail just as the League of Nations failed. Woefully. I can see it. But I know freedom is never given easily, but freedom is taken. And we are taking it, we have taken it, we are defending it, and we shall keep on defending this freedom. We have restored our independence. We are defending the independence. And nobody, we are not waiting for United Nations. We are not waiting for African Union, because that one itself is a complete fiasco. They have nothing to say. Because the African Union itself is made up of a lot of dictators. So they can't stand up for against one dictator as they feel threatened as well. The United Nations sit quiet. This is why his Excellency Donald Trump, the President of the United States of America, the most powerful person on earth and the most powerful nation on earth, did mention during his campaign in 2016 that he thinks that the United Nations is a club of people going together and feeling good, and that is exactly what they are doing. Because I can't see why the United Nations cannot give instruction, firm instructions and sanction on the regime of President Paul Biya and President Paul Biya in person and with his collaborators for keeping our president 6 months, 7 months incommunicado. Until today, the world is still sitting quiet. They are writing, making little speeches. We have spoken to him. You have the tool. If you want to put the laws in place, you know what to do. Cameroon should face, La République du Cameroon should face economic sanction, severe economic sanction. But what have we seen? Instead, they come at the International Monetary Fund and you give them loan. You give them money. What do you show to other nations that would like to carry out such brutality upon humanity? You give them loan, they move freely. That it isn't making any sense. The African Union is lip tight. The Commonwealth, they are playing around the bottle. I don't know whether they are keeping La République of Cameroon in the Commonwealth because of French Cameroon or because of what. But it has shown clearly with the presidential election that took place. We know they fabricated few votes. That this came from Boya, this came from Bamenda, this came from Kupe Mwaninguba, Momo Kanti, Manu Kanti, Fako Kanti. That will never lack. The few people you saw in the videos after we passing a banning these elections because they are foreign elections, they are Francophones working and residing in Southwest and Northwest that went to vote. They are Francophones, impostors, residing on our land illegally, as I'll put it, because now that we are out of the union, they are residing there illegally. Very soon we shall flush them out. Enough is enough. We shall flush them out. Note has been taken that we didn't vote. That is a clear referendum that we don't belong to that nation. We don't belong to them. We have our nation. We keep on pressing. Now there is a bit of distraction. The fake camouflage window dressing elections that took place on the 7th of October in our neighboring country, La République du Cameroon, whereby the whole world, and we know clearly from the process verbals that the voting registry from the polling station shows clearly another winner. But we don't mind who wins. We have just one goal. Either is President Paul Biya who stays in power, or is Professor Maurice Kamto. One word we have for him is for him to come on the negotiating table. We are not dialoguing. He will have to release our leaders in good health and anybody held in connection to this struggle and demilitarize our zone. Then we negotiate terms of negotiation, just as the Brexit is doing. The people there, we shall be negotiating who owns a property in La Repubblica, who owns a property in how they will have the people who worked, how will have their pension, who are coming back to our place. But there are happy triggered slave, chief triggered slave minister Atanganji Paul, a schemer. He is fighting for his own interests. Chief triggered slave number 2, Professor Ngolengole Evis, who comes from Kupe Mwaninguba division, who is a native from the Stombe subdivision. Anything he wants to speak, he says, Mr. President, His Excellency, I thank you. I know when he wants to make love to his woman, he will be thanking President Paul Biya for giving him the energy to touch his woman. I think even when he wants to eat, I've never seen a dull professor of that nature. There are many. They are there protecting their stomach. The old fool, former Prime Minister Enoni, who got married to a child, his granddaughter at that age, it shows irresponsibility. I know you people are fighting for your interests, working with that regime against us, but you can never succeed. Nobody can win a war against the people. I am telling you people that you will seek for asylum in La République du Cameroun, just as we are on exile in the diaspora because of the inhuman treatment that is meted upon our people, and that is meted upon us on arrival at the airport. None of us can get in. As we step our legs at the airport, we have been smuggled and winged and killed. Many people are still suffering in jail. One Belgian Anglophone in the name of Ndasi, he has been suffering in jail now for close to a year, and the Belgian government has been unable to get him out. We are losing people day in, day out, but we know they are also losing. And they will lose more if they don't go out. Very soon we will up the game. My fellow Ambalanders, dear comrades, the war is a war because self-defense is a universal right. We must defend ourselves, defend our women, defend our children, defend our fathers, our old mothers, and our territory. You can't sit in your house and somebody comes and is beating you up and you fall your hand. They call us various names. Terrorists, secessionists, ex-convict like Issa Chiroma. So my people back home, take heart. We know nothing good comes easy, but we are getting to the finish line. I want to assure you that this is a God-ordained struggle, and victory is almost 70% very soon, not far from now. God has spoken. We are not dialoguing with any person, be it La République du Cameroun of President Paul Biya or Maurice Kamto or the United Nations. Any person coming in, we are negotiating with you on the terms of separation. I want to thank you. This was a little message of encouragement from Nzale Clovis-Songe, who is based in Belgium, has the Media and Communication Secretary of Southern Cameroon, Belgium. Thank you.